Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Excited to have, our interior designer back. Affordable home staging sounds great, right? Well, you are lucking out today because TJ Pajimola is joining us here live from Spokane, Washington to talk about his company, family owned business company, which is a great thing, specializing in staging, vacant homes. And their goal is to really help the buyer, see your house like this beautiful, amazing space, entices them to buy it. And guess what? It works. It also helps with the price, the value of the house. So welcome to the show today, TJ. How are you?
Good. Thank you for having me. It's always nice talking to you.
Same here.
But yeah.
Tell us a little bit about the company
Oh yeah.
before we get started. And I want to point out the website, affordablehomestagingspokane.com. Okay, we'll
Yeah.
go. Start from there.
Yeah.
Tell us about the business, and then we'll dive into our conversation.
Yeah. So like I said, you said my name is TJ. I own this company with my brother and sister-in-law, family-owned business. And we specialize in vacant staging. So if you don't know what staging is, or vacant staging specifically, we go into typically empty homes and we bring in furniture and accessories and decor, and we try to really brighten up the home, highlight some key aspects of the home to help present it for your listing and for when it goes on the market and for showings to hopefully help you sell it for more money and faster.
Got it. And now for today, I know we talked about this last week and we showed some great slides. Do you want to show some more? Because I don't know if we finished, right?
Yeah, well, I think we got through that part. I would love to go through. I mean, Instagram. We have so many.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of houses, so we have kind of a lot of good examples, I think. So I can share kind of this screen, but just over our Instagram. And I think starting off on that, I mean, I always think it's great for like small businesses to have an Instagram.
It's
I
like
will
the
say
website of the future. It's what everyone uses.
absolutely. I mean, all kinds of social media. Like if you're
Yeah.
great at like TikTok or any of the other new ones, I tried out Threads shortly when it came out, but
I can't.
Instagram is still the go-to, especially for
Mm-hmm.
photos. Like how it's presented, always have liked, and it's kind of a go-to. We get a lot of our business through Instagram, so again, I think it's important for small businesses, if you haven't tapped into that, to give it a try. If you can't do it yourself, there's always great people that can help you, and you can hire someone to do it. I'll say, like, when I was in college, I had a friend that, he did social media for a golfing app. And I think there's all kinds of, young people out there, or just people in general that have embraced technology and have figured out how to navigate, social media. And so for anybody's business out there, I mean, again, there's people out there who know their stuff when it comes to this. So I'll say I tried doing it myself for a little bit. And then, we had a friend who was really interested in the space, and she's really the anchor behind all of our reels and our photos and at all of our stages. And the nice thing is we also got her to do some of the staging, so we're kind of a team effort there. But and like I said, this is my sister-in-law and my brother, so family photo of us,
Aw.
and yeah, and they're really, if it weren't for them too, it's like, getting into this business would be a lot more daunting, by myself. And so it's been great having kind of that core team, that we know is going to be there. And then ultimately we all get to grow together. And I think there's been an evolution between like our earlier stages when we first started and some now. Part of that is like financially we're able to buy more things, and so
Yeah.
getting new stuff in there. All of our items in our warehouse are less than 5 years old, but they're still trends change so fast that it's important to get new stuff to keep up with it, and make sure we're giving those homes the best shot to actually sell. So
Oh my
but yeah,
gosh.
so
Show us
here's our
some.
Instagram. I don't know if you have any specific questions, but yeah, a lot of these are reels, and
Oh
I
my
can go through.
gosh, I
So we
want
talk.
that couch. I want that pillow. I go, oh my God, I want that kitchen. Yeah, we go to that couch one. Well, then that vase. Wait,
That's
is
right.
that like
That's
your
right.
couch and your pillow? That's
Um,
the person's couch and you added the pillow in the
No, this is
pictures?
all of so a lot. I was gonna say most of this is us. Like these were all vacant homes. We brought in the couch, the chairs, the coffee
Mm-hmm.
table, the decor, the art, everything. So it's completely empty home. We did last week. We were talking more about like occupied homes, and so this
Mm-hmm.
is one. That's more occupied. Like it was their bar stools, but we brought in some decor. It was their table again. We brought in some decor and like accessories and art and placemats and settings and stuff, just to kind of like give it that extra feel. I know people don't live like this necessarily. You're not going to maybe have a tray sitting on your couch at all times, but it's nice to bring that in to kind of add some level of comfort. When people walk through the home, and so this was an example of an occupied stage where it's like we did use a lot of their stuff and then we brought in like things like this. This is a guest bedroom that we brought in everything. So it kind of goes with occupied homes. It's a little bit back and forth on like if a room's completely empty, we can absolutely treat it like a vacant stage. But if it's lived on, we don't really want our stuff to maybe be integrated with their stuff. One, stuff will get lost. Two, maybe things will get mistreated and broken, and we want to avoid that. But so majority of the stages, like this one, we brought in everything. It's like we really try to
Are you okay?
pop
Hold on. Are
that
you
that
hanging
teal
those
color.
pictures with nails, or you do you like what's the trick? Because you don't want to ruin the walls.
Yeah. Yeah, so I have we use painter nails in general. So that when they do it, they cover up, they fill their holes, and then yeah, we do come in and we use painter nails. We tell people beforehand that we're going to do that. But I mean, art is just, I have had people request not using any art, but it's such a big piece of a
Yeah.
stage. I think if you can, a lot of people live in homes without any art. And I think that can be tough I think because it adds so much, and you can tie in a lot of different colors, through different types of art. This art in this photo is like a lot more modern. But again, I think here is just more of like trying to bring that color and then bring that throughout the home. So we had a lot of black and white in this house, with that teal, blue, color kind of popping in different rooms. So you can kind of see it in the kitchen, in the dining room, on the coffee table, in the pillows, on the chairs. And then, we continued to tie that black and white or kind of more neutral theme throughout the house, and then added like a blue bottle of wine specifically to kind of again bring that color throughout the home. So like as
Wow.
people are walking through the home, that it's like just that repetition is such a good trick to like get it instilled in their mind that, oh, I'll remember these
Yeah.
different aspects of the house. And then this was a little change, but like this room, like kids room, is sometimes really important. I think guest room, a lot of people like doing adult rooms, but if your target buyer is a family, highlighting a kid room can be really good. And so that does depend. When we first meet up with people, well, like a realtor or a homeowner, we're trying to understand like who are they targeting with their home. Some homes like this, like the size of it, I think it was a 4-2. So you're going to have multiple rooms. You're likely going to have
Mm-hmm.
kids in
Yep.
in that house. And so highlighting a kid room and adding like a little play tent and a little desk and
Yeah.
obviously a more kid like bed is nice. So this was, again, and these are all our like recent stages. And then we also did an adult guest room in this house too,
Ooh.
so still showing off the
Ah.
you know the 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 ability to have a guest room, or
Yeah.
maybe an adult kid room. Actually, we did a lot of rooms in this
Ooh.
house, so we did
That
another one,
camera
another
fell.
bedroom as well. So but yeah, so that's a good example, I think, of a vacant stage,
I love
and
that
maybe
mirror
the
there. Oh my God,
difference.
that round mirror. Where do you find
Yes,
these
and
things? And you
layering.
can't tell us, but I mean, come on.
Oh, well,
Do you
I
shop
can.
at
I
local
mean, all
places like
kinds of.
we do, like Home Goods and
Yeah,
stuff?
absolutely. Home Goods. I mean, Hobby Lobby. We have a store called At Home near us.
Yeah, we have those too.
Definitely Target. I mean, sometimes you have to go to those stores. I mean, I think I prefer to buy things wholesale, and because you can generally get, as a designer,
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of get better deals. But sometimes it's like if you only have if you have a stage tomorrow and you don't have a couch, or you don't have something, you have to go to like kind of the local stores and see what they have and get it. But there's somebody, I can't remember who said this, but it doesn't necessarily matter where you're shopping. It's kind of like, do you have an eye for it or not? Like, I think I look at this coffee table or this dining table. Oh, that's a reel. Sorry. You'll kind of get it. Here's an aspect of our video. I don't know if that comes through very well, but our social media person's very great. Her name's Hannah, and she, does all this herself on her own gimbal, and it's pretty impressive. I think she just took that on herself. But anyway, what I was saying is this coffee table, it's like 4 random things kind of put together. We vary the heights, vary the colors, vary the textures, and it really makes an attractive, dining table arrangement. And so those are some tools to like get people's attention. And we do that in a lot of different rooms in a lot of different ways. So that's kind of I guess a little bit more about arrangements and things like that. So but yeah, we have fun with it. I guess the shopping part is definitely the most fun. You can go into a thrift store, you can find one of a kind items and then figure out a way to utilize those. Or again, you can buy something more like mass producing, like the similar pillows, and again do that repetition thing throughout the house. So yeah, there's a variety of ways. And then I do have like a little DIY hack if people want to check it out on, a little tool on hanging art, because like hanging art, big art like this by yourself is kind of difficult. So we have this like cool little stick. It just has a screw in the end. I got it from Staging Studio, which is where I got my certification for staging design. And it's just such an easy trick to like kind of poke a hole in the wall after you get it leveled, and you hang it level and perfectly every time. So yeah, check that out. I think main reason I guess for showing my Instagram, would love people to follow and see our journey throughout staging, and again how our stages have evolved over time, because that's where really our most recent stuff is. So
Oh my goodness, love it. Remind us how we can contact you, please.
Yeah, so our Instagram is Affordable Home Staging Spokane. Our website is affordableHomestagingspokane.com, and you can always reach me directly at 509-944-1174.
Perfect. Thank you so much. All right. Well, let's continue the conversation here and with your company. I love that it's a family business. It's growing and growing and growing. And what would you say, just curious, as a stager, as a business owner, what are some of the common struggles? What did you learn through this about, what's the most difficult part of your job?
Yeah, sometimes I mean, I
Is
think
it
it
carrying
depends
and
on your
lifting
strengths.
furniture in? No.
No, for like gladly not. I mean, I'm happy I'm capable. My brother does all the heavy lifting. I'll say he carries like 3/4 of the couch, and then I carry the other fourth. So it makes it makes it a little bit easier for the lifting. I'd say I think it depends on your strengths. Like I very much consider myself a people person, and I came from a account management background. So working with people and like finding customers, trying to build relationships. I mean, that is probably a strength of mine, where again, that creative side didn't come maybe as naturally, or maybe it came naturally, but I had never really tapped into that aspect of my brain. So I think learning staging tricks, I mean, there's so much more to learn, but learning how to present a room appropriately, because everybody has different opinions. So managing the different opinions on like what we should do, and then now tying that into like, okay, no, there's actually like design rules we can use to help us make decisions, as opposed to like, oh, I think this looks good. Because I guess that's a problem with a lot of people who have an eye for design, is like they go in and they think something looks good, but they don't know why, or they think something that looks good that won't really be attractive when you actually look at listing photos. And so, because you could think functionally in a house, like, oh, I put my couch here, I put my TV up there, but it's like then you just closed off the entire room, and people are walking into the back of a couch, and that's the opposite of what you want to do when you're presenting a home, when you're staging. So Yeah, I guess that part was difficult for me, but again, that's why I relied on my partner Courtney, who had that, she already had the eye. She had already been doing staging for her own listings and things like that, and that was her strength. She's also a people person, so I think she's got kind of like the double whammy. She can probably she could do this on her own, and then I have like that more business aspect that kind of ties into that. But I think we all have our different strengths and weaknesses, and that's kind of what has allowed us to grow so quickly. As opposed to a lot of businesses that do fail and don't, make it past that first year or the first 5 years in business. And so, we're blessed for that we have a good team, a good core team that kind of balances each other out. So,
Oh my goodness.
yeah.
Well, I love this work. It's beautiful. Let me ask, in the staging business, what is like competition like in your area, right? Because obviously, I'm sure there's other
Mhm.
people out there. I mean, I
Yeah.
love that yours says affordable. Do you give like estimates to people so they could, bounce back with you, or how does it work to get that business and to confirm,
Yeah.
obviously testing is believing in testimonials from customers help as well, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we get a lot of referral business just from the results that we get. When you put a house on the market and it sells in 3 days in a market that the average days on market is closer to like 30 or 60 sometimes. I guess it ranges from that. That makes an impression on people, and then they recommend us to other people. Um, but competition, I mean, there's definitely a lot of competition. We have a lot of great stagers in Spokane. I would say there's a high tier like more luxury staging company that focuses in that space, and I think that's great because as we're growing, we want to get there, but we don't have like I don't have 40 luxury houses worth of furniture in my inventory yet. I hope to have that many or more in the future, but um, we could pull
Yeah.
maybe like 4 or 5 luxury, like true luxury stages together with what we have, pulling like a lot of our nice, like really nice items all together. But we really specialize in kind of those mid-market homes, I would say, like 600, or for our market it's like 300 to 600,000. I would say that's usually the price of home that we're in, which is still a big range, but um if it's 600 and more, again, we have a handful of that we can do that just require, like when you have a really nice finishes in a home, it requires you to bring in nicer, heavier, bigger, larger, like furniture to fill out the room. You don't want to bringing in a twin bed or a full bed into a
Yeah.
room that could have a king doesn't make the room look bigger, like you would assume, like, oh, you got this little small bed in the photo and the room's going to look huge, but it just makes the room look awkward.
Yeah.
So it's really important, if a king bed can fit in a room in appropriately, then that you use the appropriate size furnishing. So again, we have that other, there's another luxury staging company locally. There's also some other boutique staging companies, and we all have maybe slightly different styles, but the nice thing is there's over 1,000 homes on the market in Spokane right now, pretty much at all times of the year, even in January or in December. And we can only stage 40 homes at a time. So if 90% of
Yeah.
those don't stage, there's still 100 homes out there needing to be staged. And we can share that market share with our partners, or sorry, our competitors, because right now we can't take on as many or all the whole market share. Again, I hope to grow the team, grow our inventory to a point where we could, and that would be an issue, but we're not there yet. And again, it's like community over competition is
Yeah.
like a big thing kind of pushed in our market, and I agree with it.
Well,
I think there's abundance out there. There's like everybody could be successful,
mhm. Well,
in our market. So
could you pull up some of those reviews that you have there on Instagram?
yeah, let me see on Instagram.
Right there. It says
I'm trying to think
reviews right
where.
on top. See, about go above right
Oh,
there.
our
Yeah,
reviews.
yeah. Click on
Yeah,
that.
sorry.
No,
I was
no,
like,
no.
where are they? Yeah, these are fun. So these will just kind of go through, but this is like some of our older stages, and just people saying like fantastic company to work with. we moved really quickly on staging their home. Like a lot of people reach out right beforehand, and then
Aw.
sometimes we have to move quickly. But yeah, we love, I mean, our clients, and we have a lot more Google reviews, and a lot of people will say nice things and maybe not write a review. I want to get better at actually like asking for reviews, but
Mhm.
it's nice that we didn't really have to solicit, these reviews. These were just kind
Beautiful
of given to
vision,
us too.
clear,
So
consistent
yeah,
communication, patience.
yeah.
Oh my goodness. No, seeing is believing. And Hannah, who's Hannah? It's social media.
Oh yeah,
Yay.
so
Hi, Hannah.
yeah, so again, yeah. So yeah, Hannah, this is, she's our social media manager,
Shout out to
director,
you.
and does
Hey.
everything. Yeah, exactly. And then this is fun. We put together our team, and I think again we're growing.
Courtney
We've added a couple more logistics team members, and
and Ryan.
um yeah,
Got to give
yeah,
credit where credit's due. And let me see behind you. Did you
absolutely.
restage? Did you restage today for us?
No, this is actually my wife's office. So I mean,
Oh.
again, we're moving. So we used to have a big like love sack couch,
Uh-huh.
like sectional in here, and then we kind of downsized it just because we didn't it takes up a lot of the room. So that's another thing. It's my own house we're renting out, and we're in the top like probably top 1 to 10, I would say 1 to 5% of like rental prices on the market. But we did, we have a renter coming in, so we were able to get it leased, and everything on our end. And staging is a big part of that. I think, when if majority of people are seeing your stuff online, it's like being able to see it staged and bring some imagination out is important even when you're using your own stuff. And so to be able to get a high rental price or a high sales price, it's really important to present your home in the best light as possible. So we did, I staged it, and we continue to stage it for showings, which is probably the most stressful part of living in a home, or while you're trying to rent it or trying to sell it. So I'll say, like, ideally you do it quick, because the sooner you can get an offer and the sooner you can get it rented, the less you have to keep it, perfect. So yeah,
Now, is this,
but
like we talked in the past about a lot of people come in, they see the furniture they see, and they want to purchase it from you. So does this become
mhm.
like an interior designing firm too? I mean, like, what's the next step? Because
Yeah, it's funny.
that's
We
what you're doing
just
for
did a stage.
people.
Yeah. Well, we just did a stage. I always love it when people are asking, like, hey, like, can you help me design like sometimes this is the people we talk to about the staging is like the ones that we're actually helping stage to sell their home. They're like, can you come help us, pick out furniture and everything
Hmm.
for our home, because we're moving. And it's like, yeah, absolutely, we got a blank slate. You obviously have your stuff, but we love doing that work. We've done, some large Airbnbs that get like $600 a night,
Yeah.
uh I guess in rent. And so, and then so a lot of short-term rentals, and then we, have again helped some people. Like sometimes just as simple as like help me pick out art, and it's, or help me find that couch, or they want to buy our stuff specifically that we put in there, which is a good compliment
That I want
too.
that
So
one. Yes,
uh
that one.
yeah, like
But
this
I have
couch right
kids. I
in
can't
here.
have white. I can't have white, but I love the white.
This
It's
is
so pretty.
yeah, I know white is like I love using white in vacant staging, because it's like it's very unrealistic to have a
Yeah,
lot of these white couches in your own home. But I will say
but it
that
looks
this color
good.
is actually pretty. It's like a little bit off
Beige.
white, so
Okay.
it's like maybe more gray, like a gray
Oh,
white. And so it actually might be okay in people's homes, even though in here it looks very white. Like if you see the white pillows, like that's very white, and then so you
oh,
have
I
like a
can see
little
the
off white in
contrast there
them.
now when you move the picture.
Yeah,
Yeah. Go back one
yeah.
second to the
So.
front picture. Let me see
Oh,
that vase and that. What is those rings?
those
Like,
rings,
that's
it's exactly what I would call them, the
what
chain rings. They're just decor
that's
elements.
so
Like,
pretty. I've never seen them.
yeah, I think, people have all kinds of rings, like they'll bring, or like beads and things like that that
Hmm.
they'll bring in. It's like in this case, like,
My kids' toys would be in there, or their cat toys.
right. So mine, I have like my kid toys stuffed in my cupboard.
Yep.
Um, And I can actually pull up my listing too. I mean, that would be
Cool.
fun. And kind of see,
That'd be great.
I can
Yeah, I want to see how you
I can
staged it.
show.
Oh
Yeah,
my God,
so like,
beautiful home. Gorgeous.
so so like
Gorgeous.
everything, like I did from the outside, obviously I didn't the landscaping I paid somebody else to do because I'm not a landscaper, but
Wow.
like um the seating area out front, the doormat, the plants, bringing in elements that again invite people in. And
Oh,
then we've
wow.
got like the living room. And you talked about toys. So it's so tough to live in a home with like I have a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. And so like in those
There's junk everywhere, but
little
you hit it.
cabinets,
Yeah.
well, in the cabinets, next to each one is like each of my daughter's like toy drawers. So it's just like
Uh-huh.
full of toys. And so before like a showing, it's like sometimes it gets stuffed in. I'm also very particular, like we organize our stuff into like little bags and stuff. But again, before a showing, if it's coming up quick, it kind of gets stuffed into those, those cabinets. But that's a great way to like hide
Mm-hmm.
toys in a home you're living in, still have a functional aspect. I talked about walking to the back of a couch, and then I did that exact thing. But with an L-shaped couch, there's not many other places that would look good in our living room.
Now, is
And so
this your furniture or this is your staging furniture?
this is my furniture and maybe some of the staging furniture. Like I don't have a coffee table in my home, so
Got it.
because I have 2 kids, and
Got it.
I was
Wow.
always worried about them bonking. So it's like that's not our coffee table. And my brother actually built this fireplace, and then did all the Roman clay
Whoa.
on it. So that was cool. I mean, again, he's very talented in that regard. And then again, this is like I talked about depersonalizing. I took out all our family photos and changed it out with this, more floral market kind of art.
And I love your
That I
floors. What
found on
type of floors are
Amazon.
they? Is that vinyl or is that
This is
like
just PVC,
plank?
yeah, just normal vinyl.
Beautiful.
I mean, it's more I guess it's probably a higher end vinyl.
Yeah.
The house when we bought it was kind of a little bit on the higher end. Like they definitely use like this crown
Crown
molding and
molding.
like oversized trim and whatnot. And the chairs are at Target. My wife does a lot of this stuff too. Like
God
she loves
bless her.
the design
Beautiful.
aspect. So I can't take credit for the furniture we picked out in our home too, because it's a team effort there. But again, the staging aspect of like simplifying your kitchen counters, like it doesn't always look like this. We redid this whole pantry too, because it used to just be those wire racks, and we added the
Yeah.
backsplash, added the countertops, added the pull-out drawers and all that. At my wife's request. So got to keep her happy. But yeah, and then like again,
Beautiful.
simplicity throughout the home. My duvet
Gorgeous.
cover was dirty, so I had to not have it out in the photo. But
Yeah.
but yeah, so kind of can go through. And then like kids' rooms again, it's like we cleaned up, we made it look nice. We were definitely trying to target, families, with kids. So
you're renting this house out, I'm assuming, right? I guess. Yeah.
yeah,
So you're not selling it.
renting
And
it out.
you have a few bites?
Yeah. Yeah, well, so we have somebody who applied. They want to move in on
That is so cool. Wait, how did you get?
second. So
Whoa, Manito?
oh, Manitou. It's a watermark. It's like the Manitou is
I'm like, what is that?
the property management company.
Oh, I looked
So it's
back
just
because
so
I'm like,
people
wait, is that
can't.
your kid's name? Because you had your daughter's name, the other one. I'm like, wait, like, how did you get it on
Yeah,
the
no,
door? I'm like, wow, okay.
no. So that's just a watermark. That's just so like people can't steal the
Yes.
photos and like
Yep,
post
yep.
it for themselves
I didn't
and
notice it in the
whatnot.
other
But
ones. Okay. Oh my gosh.
yeah. And my daughter, as we're moving, she's like, "Hey, can you paint me a rainbow on my new wall?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that thing took me forever, but I will do it for you."
God bless you. Amazing, Dad. Well, your house is beautiful. I love what you do. You have great
you.
style, you and the wife. And oh my goodness, look at that yard. Gorgeous.
Yeah, that was a task, and keeping it
When was
alive in
the home
105
built?
degree weather.
When was the home built?
Just 2.5 years ago, so
Gorgeous.
2022. So
Beautiful.
yeah,
Well, best of
thank
luck with
you.
everything.
But
TJ,
yeah,
great seeing you. Tell us
thank
how we can
you.
reach you one more time.
Yeah, so you can reach me directly at 509-944-1174 or on our Instagram at Affordable Home Staging Spokane, or on our website at
Great.
affordableHomeStagingSpokane.com.
I'm glad we had extra time today. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Have a
me too.
fantastic day.
Thank
Next
you.
week, we're back on.
Yep,
Good
sounds
luck.
good.
You
All
can be
right, see
live
ya.
from the new place. We'll see.
Are you looking for even more of the podcasts and hosts that you love? The Podcast Business News Network is proud to announce that you now have even more ways to listen live. Check out the MyTuner Radio, online radio box, and Simple Radio apps on iOS and Android, or find us online. Search for Business News Network on mytuner-radio.com, or search Podcast Business News Network on streama.com and onlineradiobox.com/US. Take your podcast on the go and don't miss a minute of the action.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a
Mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house. And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.